Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're discussing one of the most talked about Stephen King adaptations. In recent years, The Long Walk, directed by Francis Lawrence, this movie has been generating a lot of buzz, not just because of King's legacy, but because of the way the filmmakers chose to adapt and even change certain parts of the original story. Let's break down the movie, go over the plot, the characters, the ending, and of course I'll share my honest thoughts on whether it lived up to the hype. If you're unfamiliar, The Long Walk is set in a dystopian America, where every year 100 teenage boys are forced to take part in this brutal contest called The Long Walk. The rules are cruel but simple. Walk at a steady pace of at least 3 miles per hour. Don't stop. Don't slow down. If you do, you get 3 warnings. After that, you're executed on the spot. The walk doesn't end until there's only one person left alive. Our main character is Raymond Garrity, played by Cooper Hoffman. He's number 47, and we experience the walk mostly through his perspective. Along the way, he develops a bond with another contestant, Peter McVries, played by David Johnson. These two really carry the emotional core of the film. Around them, we meet other walkers, Olson, Barkovich, Stebbins, Baker, each with their own quirks, traumas, and reasons for being there. And watching over them is the Major, played with chilling authority by Mark Hamill. The film really leans into the slow burn of this concept. At first, the boys are joking, testing their limits, even trying to strategize. But as the miles add up, exhaustion, hallucinations, and paranoia start to set in. The walk becomes a test of body and mind, and the movie does not shy away from the brutality. You see people collapse, you see friendships form and break, and you feel the hopelessness of walking toward an end you can't control. Some standout moments include Barkovich's unraveling Charlie Plummer plays him with this cocky arrogance that eventually spirals into one of the film's darkest moments. Then there's Stebbins, who reveals that he's actually the illegitimate son of the Major. He's what they call a rabbit, someone placed in the race to manipulate the competition. But when his strength finally gives out, he too collapses and gets taken out. It's grim, but it's compelling. And here's where things get really interesting. If you've read the novel, you know that Garrity is the last one standing, and the book ends ambiguously, with him still walking, almost like he's lost to the madness. But the movie takes a different route. In the film, it comes down to Garrity and McVries. Garrity, completely worn down, convinces McVries to keep going. In what feels like both a sacrifice and an act of friendship, Garrity essentially gives up his chance at victory. McVries pushes forward and becomes the last man standing. But then comes the twist. When McVries is crowned the winner and given his reward, instead of asking for riches or a prize, he requests a gun. And in a shocking final act, he uses it to kill the Major, finally delivering the vengeance that Garrity had been dreaming of earlier in the film. McVries then walks off into the distance, and the movie ends. So instead of the novel's existential, never-ending walk, the film gives us a more direct, rebellious ending, one that's about defiance, justice, and sacrifice. This change really highlights one of the movie's main themes, the power of human connection in the face of cruelty. Garrity and McVries' bond is the heart of the story, and the decision to let McVries win feels like the ultimate act of friendship. The film also pushes harder on themes of vengeance and resistance, with McVries literally taking down the symbol of oppression, the Major. But that comes with trade-offs. Fans of the book might feel like the film strays from King's more haunting, ambiguous tone. The book is about endurance and the futility of survival, while the movie bends it into something a little more cinematic. The performances are excellent. Cooper Hoffman as Garrity captures that mix of vulnerability and quiet strength, and David Johnson is phenomenal as McVries. He brings this fire, sarcasm, and humanity that balances Garrity perfectly. Mark Hamill as the Major, chilling. Every word drips with authority and menace. Visually, the movie nails the bleakness of the walk. You really feel the miles, the exhaustion, the hopelessness. It's repetitive, but in a way that serves the story, because the characters themselves are trapped in that repetition. And emotionally, I think the friendship between Garrity and McVries elevates the film from just a grim survival story into something more human. But it's not perfect. The pacing can be tough. At 2.5 hours, there are moments in the middle where it feels like you're slogging through just as much as the walkers. Some of the side characters feel underdeveloped. We only scratch the surface of who they are before they're gone. And the ending? That's going to divide people. If you love the book's ambiguous, haunting conclusion, you might not like this more definitive, rebellious finale. Personally, I get why they changed it. Ambiguity works in a novel, but in a movie, audiences often crave resolution. It changes the tone of the story pretty dramatically. Overall, The Long Walk is a bold and powerful adaptation. It doesn't stick word for word to King's original vision, but it captures the dread, the exhaustion, and the moral questions at the heart of the story. The performances are strong, the tension is high, and even if the ending is controversial, it gives the story an emotional punch that I think will stick with viewers. Not perfect, but a memorable and thought-provoking watch, one of the better King adaptations we've seen in years. But that's just my take. If you enjoyed this breakdown and review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into movies and TV. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.